So as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, they're gonna send it lower, especially since they took out the high of the news candle. So after that, it's just a matter of taking an entry in there, as you can see on the 1 minute, if you wanted to wait for some type of confirmation. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, my name is Lewis, and this is the YouTube channel where I'm documenting my trade journey. This was NFP week this week, but before I get into all that stuff, first and foremost, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what your trading week look like, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I want to get straight into everything that happened this week in terms of price action, but before we do that, let's hop into the sponsor of this video and then also into my Discord. All right, so we are now in the sponsor of the video. If you're looking for a PC or you're looking to build a PC with the best available parts in the market, make sure you check out Tektronix.com and make sure you use my discount code, as you can see right here, LV Flip, for 10% off. Like I said in the last video, they remodeled their whole store, so the website is a lot more user friendly than it was before, because it would glitch in the other one, but now it looks a lot better. As you can see right here in these banners, you just click them and then it brings you straight to the setups themselves. This is my favorite setup, or the one that I think is the best bang for your buck, is the Futures Setup LV Flip. As you can see right here on the right side, it gives you all of the components of the PC itself, and if you scroll down, you can subscribe to their emails just to get updated and all that. They have free shipping and 1-year warranty, so take advantage of that. And it's not just for trading setups, they have setups for streaming as well. And if you go into just their collections in general, the Nova Strike collection, you can see all of the variety in here for video editing, photo work, 3D work, all that stuff. It's all in here, and you get to choose depending on your budget. As well, you can hit contact them if you want anything in particular in your build, or if you want to add or remove anything, just go ahead and do that. Apart from that, that's everything I have to say. Let's head into the Discord. All right, now we are in my Discord. As you can see, we have now 77 members in the Discord. I appreciate you if you are in here. All that I ask is, if you're gonna join, make sure that you guys keep the conversation going, stay active. I want to keep the conversation active, especially during the trading day. You know, it's a little bit more acceptable once we're not trading, but if we're trading, send your trade ideas, send anything really in the chat, and we'll keep the conversation going. If you're looking to join the premium Discord, you already know, head down here to join premium and you get access to all of this stuff in here. I've been putting a lot of work in the trade breakdown with all the trades that I'm taking, breaking it down, so you don't have to wait for the weekly video. You could just see as soon as I'm done with a trade and it's a winning trade or a really good losing trade, I always break it down. So make sure you go and check that out. My prices are down there as well for one-on-one calls. If you want to learn how I view the markets as well, I have testimonials in here from my students, so go ahead and check that out. Apart from that, that's really all I have to say. The link is down in the description as always, and it's also on my Instagram. Mentioning that as well, thank you so much for the amount of support we've been getting on the YouTube channel. As you can see right here, we just hit 1,153 followers or subscribers on YouTube. Extremely grateful for that. And I believe on Instagram we hit another milestone. I don't remember what the number exactly is, but let's see what it is exactly right now. The number on Instagram is 1,338 followers with right now 69,000 views for the last 30 days. We got up to about 76,000 views. So once again, thank you so much for the amount of support. Apart from that, let's get into what happened this week. All right, so as you can see, if you look at the charts, it looks like they just copy and pasted. Very similar both weeks. We have big drops during the weekend and then all the way up to a Friday high and then a TGIF Friday setup on Friday, getting back inside the range. I was mostly bullish this week, especially because we had right here this SMT, external SMT. So you can see this low was taken out by ES, and NQ was bullish and did not even get close to taking it out. So I was bullish throughout the whole week. And one thing I do have to say, I did not take a single trade this week. The executions that I did take a couple executions, and they are on my Instagram, so make sure you go and check them out. But it's NFP week and I need to get my eye back, if that makes sense. I need to make sure that I stop all these little mistakes that are fucking me up, and that's the only way that you could really do it. So I woke up every day and I was still on the charts every day, but I was tape reading, forming trade ideas, and then journaling. And actually that reminds me, I still have to journal for today, Friday, but we should be back next week. It's the second week of the month, which is better anyways. If you know, you know, most good traders or very experienced traders just wait out the first week of the month just because it's NFP and it could be pretty weird. But turns out this week was actually very clean, and you'll see the executions that I took and all that on Instagram. Let's just head straight into what could have been taken and what paper trades I did take this week. All right, so we head into Monday. So like I said already, Sunday we ended up having this big SMT. So as soon as I saw that and this big new week opening gap, I knew for a fact that we would end up at least Monday getting into medium threshold of that new week opening gap, if not fill it up all the way. And we did end up filling it up all the way, but as you could see right here, this is the new week opening gap, medium threshold. We we blew past it and ended up filling it out. So either way, if you look on the 4 hour, we had this 4 hour fair value gap right here that ended up forming. So you have to be a little patient on Monday, but Monday actually had probably the most explosive move after this big drop for the rest of the week, except for maybe Friday. Friday today was actually very well. But let's break down the trade, or the trade that I would have taken. Monday for NFP week is usually a very good day to trade. As you can see, very clean price action, and we got straight up to filling up this new week opening gap. The protocol really for NFP week is be done really by Wednesday New York session. So after morning session in New York, just don't trade. Thursday I had a really good trade that I took on paper. If you want to see the execution, it's on my Instagram, but you can see we had an actual like really good move on Thursday. Apart from that, Friday today was just TGIF, and Friday was extremely clean. I'll break it down and all that stuff once we get to it, but let's look at it for what it is here. So at 9:30 we end up going up and tapping into the new week opening gap, and that got a lot of people bullish right away. So a lot of people got trapped in there. It's because they weren't really paying attention to what was really happening. So as you can see, price ended up coming back down. Let me check if there was an SMT, because I can't remember if there was an SMT or not on Monday on the 15th. No SMT on Monday at all. I guess you could call that an SMT. It really is an SMT, but as you can see, these lows out here ended up not getting taken out, and NQ and ES did take it out. So that is an SMT if you were looking for that, but I was bullish anyway, so you would be looking for a move lower to then end up going higher. And if you take the fib and you mark it out as well, you see that we did come down below equilibrium to send it. So we have a key level with a sweep of liquidity. So that's basically my setup right there. That is where I would have taken the trade if I was trading this week. You can see as well, we have a 15-minute sweep right here, total swoop right there. Like I said, I would have been targeting the medium threshold of the new week opening gap, as you can see right here, new week opening gap right there. Pretty simple trade. A lot of people were waiting for a move lower inside this fair value gap for the 10 o'clock PO3, but it just kept on rising and never came back lower. So either way, it's okay, because we formed a breaker during the New York session. So as you can see, if I turn on my sessions, this right here is a breaker. So this is very important for the next day, and as you can see, we came back down to it and respected it. So this is a unicorn model on the 15-minute, because we have a breaker and a fair value gap, which makes this fair value gap right here an extremely high probable fair value gap that is going to hold. And as you can see, it did hold. But if you hold out this area right here, these up close candles, you have the breaker extremely clean, and that is why on Tuesday I was also bullish as well, just because we had already came down and respected this right here, which is the breaker that was formed during New York session. Pay attention to the PD arrays that are formed during New York session, because those are very important PD arrays. But as you can tell, after Monday, you already knew this right here, this low on Sunday, was the low of the week, because if you drag out the opening price, which is this right here, you get to see, as you can see, it's labeled here already, but we are below. This is the wick of the weekly candle. All right, so let's move on to Tuesday. Tuesday was really a quick move up, extremely fast. The only way that you would have known what was going to happen Tuesday is if you were already paying attention to what happened overnight session. This move down in London was basically a very valid low of day, because we had hit this unicorn model on the higher time frame to then push price higher. What you could have done as soon as we entered the market at 9:30 was wait for a move lower to then push higher, and that is exactly what ended up happening at 9:30 Tuesday. As you see, there is an SMT on the lower time frame on the 1 minute, so I'll go on the 1 minute right now. So as you can see, there is a 1 minute SMT right there as well with a break of structure up there. What most people probably would have been doing was waiting for price to come back down to the CISD or this fair value gap, but as you can see, there was SMTs there as well. So taking a long in that position would have been a good long either way. But if we head back to the higher time frames, you can see we had a turtle swoop right there, sweeping liquidity of that previous 15-minute candle, as well as hitting this 15-minute order block and respecting the medium threshold of the 15-minute order block. So that's basic order flow for a move higher, especially if you were already bullish. Could have took that swoop in there, anything in there really, maybe stop below the order block and then targeted the previous day high, which was the high of Monday here in the afternoon session. As you can see, pretty good trade as well, an ARR, and it was pretty quick. This is over in what, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. That was the best move that I seen during New York session, and it was very quick at 9:30. So if you weren't paying attention to what price was doing in terms of what happened overnight, then you would have never seen this. You would have just been like, okay, let me wait till market open. Market open would have came, took out liquidity, and then just boom, then you would have been waiting for a retracement. Price already did what it needed to do. And then again, we move on to Wednesday. Wednesday morning session is usually the last day during NFP week that you want to be looking for a trade until maybe Friday, NFP day. Wednesday and Thursday usually are very choppy days. So as you can see, this right here is just straight up chop. The market really has no idea what it wants to do. But if you know already, we have a bullish exterior SMT, bullish either way, looking for longs. Could have waited for something to end up setting up later on in the morning. So on these days, you have to just be extremely patient because price is gonna chop, especially on NFP week. But I think the 10 o'clock PO3 would have been probably the best thing to trade on Wednesday, just because as you can see, we came down low and respected. We turtle soup right here, so we had a raid on stops and then ended up moving higher, respecting this down close candle, but as well as this inverse fair value gap, if I'm not mistaken, as well as respecting this inverse gap. So that would have been a good area to take a long from. Like I said, I was just tape reading, so I was just watching price do this, and I was marking out the levels that I was interested in as well, looking for a long later on in the day. Reaching up for the highs of Tuesday was a very good trade on this day, but you had to be patient. Like on this day, this is the type of day that will test your psychology, because price is gonna chop up and down, and you're gonna think you're gonna be taken out by the market. Usually it's a type of trade where you just have to sit there and trust your idea and see what happens. If it hits your stop, it hit your stop. Let's see if you had a SMT on that day as well. Yeah, so as you can see, we did have an SMT right here, extreme SMT actually, even like this here with these two candles. And yes, that counts as an SMT as well. But you can see SMT there with a soup. Could have taken your entry at the soup once you noticed the SMT itself and had your stop below the SMT low and rode it all the way up. Like I said, you would have to sit through this chop from 10 o'clock all the way up to actually getting out of the trade around 11:45. But it did shoot up exactly after the 11 o'clock open, so it's not a bad trade if you had just set and forget. Once you have your stop in there and your take profit, just walk away or just go do something else. But you could see you could have had something like this and then targeted the high up there. Crazy RR, could have had a wider stop even, and you could see the type of damage that could have been done Wednesday. But like I said, Wednesday was a lot more chopped than usual, just because it's the Wednesday before NFP. And Thursday, I thought it was gonna be like that as well. I took this execution on Thursday, so if you want to see it, make sure you go and check it out on my Instagram at LewisVisuals_. Link is down in the description if you want to see it. But let's break down the trade that I ended up taking on Thursday. Yeah, I took it off the 5 minute. A very nice trade actually, not a lot. Well, it did get a little drawdown, but after it happened, it wasn't bad at all. I did break it down in the trade breakdowns on my premium Discord right here. As you can see the video, this is the actual trade itself. Like I said, if you want to see the actual execution, go check it out on Instagram. But let's break this down. Yeah, but let's see what actually ended up happening as soon as we opened. Still bullish, just because we have Monday low of week. I don't think we'll have a Thursday reversal. We did have this move lower, but coming in on Thursday, let's check out the higher time frames. So coming in on Thursday, this is what the higher time frame ended up looking like. I'll just put these away so you could see. This is what it looked like when I was coming into the market. So we have this very small fair value gap right here on the 4 hour, but it's still there, so it's still a valid fair value gap. And then we have this big one. This big one I was expecting to get touched. It didn't even do it on Thursday. It came back down on Friday to actually fill it. But either way, I came in and I just wanted to see what PD arrays haven't been mitigated yet, and these were the two PD arrays that I seen that were either being respected or haven't even been touched yet. So then we get back to what ended up happening. As you can see, if you go to the 15 minute right here, so you can see this is the fair value gap. So coming into the New York session, so this is how I had it marked out, and I was obviously paying attention to the higher time frames, but I like how it ended up setting up here on the 5 minute, and I just took the trade off the 5 minute. I could have dropped and fractionalized the trade into the 1 minute, but there was no point at that point because everything has set up on the 5 minute. But as you can see, we coming into the open right here at 9:30, we have a explosive move lower, but look how the candle closed. So the wick does the damage and the body tells the story. So first thing we do is take out liquidity right here. Right here we sweep sell side liquidity, boom. So that sell side liquidity is gone, then price explodes. And then I just noticed this right here. After we close above this down close candle, this becomes a bullish order block because it took out liquidity. This is a high probability bullish order block because first we took out sell side liquidity. So as soon as liquidity is taken, that makes it high probability. It's even more higher probability because it left a fair value gap after taking out sell side liquidity. So as you can see, as soon as I saw price come back down into it, I had my limit order at the order block. As soon as price came back down into it, I had my limit order at the order block, and then as you could see, price came down, tapped the trade in. My stop was below the order block body, so there, and then I was targeting the high of day that was created in London. So this was the high of day, and this is the trade. It was a 3R, no crazy RR or anything like that, but this is but for me, the minimum RR that I would take is a 3R, because it just doesn't make sense to take a 2R. Sometimes I'll take it, but not really. But after we took this sell side liquidity right here, I noticed that was the turtle soup that was sent price higher. So this right here, as soon as I saw that, I had a lot of confidence that price was gonna end up booming, and that's exactly what ended up happening. But like I said, I could have fractionalized and went into the 1 minute, but there was no need. I saw everything that I needed to see on the 5 minute for price to push higher. It was a very good target because, as you can see, price ended up reversing right after I got out, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't care. Got in and out, and then like I said, Wednesday is usually gonna be a choppy day. So Thursday, as you could see, ended up just being a crazy choppy day. And then later on in the night, I came back to see what price was doing. So I thought price, when it dropped this hard, was going to tap into the 4-hour gap, but it didn't. It never did. ES did, but this never did. What I was anticipating today, Thursday, was price to, or today, Friday, was price to come into that 4-hour gap. So this is the trade. It was extremely clean, extremely clean. I'm kind of tight. I should have just took it on my actual account, but I already had made the decision that I was going to start trading next week, so there's no point. But here's everything you really need to see. This is the news candle, as you could see there. We ended up souping the news candle, so rating stops up there, and news candles are very different to regular candles, so you want to pay attention to those always. I break it down in my one-on-ones, and I don't know if I created an actual lecture for the news candles. I have to make one if I haven't, but news candles are very important. But as you can see, we ended up coming up to the high of the news candle, and then price kept pushing higher. Most people were like, why is price pushing higher? We had a key level up there, which was the previous week high, and as you can see, we ended up having an SMT up there as well, because ES is not even close to its previous week high. So you can see this is the previous high for ES, not even close. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, they're gonna send it lower, especially since they took out the high of the news candle. So after that, it's just a matter of taking an entry in there. As you can see on the 1 minute, if you wanted to wait for some type of confirmation, you could have waited until price broke structure right here. As you can see, price did break structure, but I knew price was gonna reverse from there, or at least I had a good idea that price would reverse from there. And what I was looking for was the previous day low into that fair value gap, and that is exactly what ended up happening. Another trade that ended up setting up later on was this right here, back inside the 15-minute gap. We had a turtle soup here. This one happened quickly after I finished tape reading this move, which was the move that I was looking for. I came back a little bit later to see what price was doing, and I seen this, and I was contemplating on taking it on my actual account after we got a CISD. As you can see, this right here would have been the CISD, but price just took a dump. I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know if that's the new Trump markets. This is how price is gonna move from now on. But this right here, with there's no news, nothing at all, it just decided to just boom at 10:53 with no news at all. It's just a crazy candle. But like I said, this was the CISD, so I was waiting for this to be broken through and close below to then take a trade. I would have taken anything really under here with my stop above this high, and then targeting the medium threshold of the 4-hour gap. As you can see, would have been a 3R. Nice trade, but dumped way too quickly. As soon as I saw the market dump that hard, I just turned my charts off, because that is just asking for something to happen that you don't want to happen. But that is basically the gist of NFP week. This is NFP week for this week, the first week of the month of February. And like I said, the protocol for NFP week is that you really want to be done trading for the week. New York session Wednesday, and then maybe if you're experienced enough, come back Friday for the NFP trade. After New York session, most of New York session is going to be choppy Wednesday and Thursday, and then after that, as you can see. But yeah, Monday is okay to trade, Tuesday is okay to trade. They're usually very good days to trade on NFP week, but apart from that, that's basically all I have to say. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. Let me know how your week went down in the comments. Thank you so much for the support. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you check out techtronics.com and use my discount code for 10% off. All that is down in the description, as well as joining my Discord, as you can see in here. All I ask is that you please keep the conversation going if you join my Discord. I got a lot of things that I'm going to end up adding to that, but apart from that, that is everything that I want to talk about in this video. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next week. Oh, make sure you check out my Instagram for the executions next week as well. Apart from that, that's everything I have to say. Y'all have a good night, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.